I've got an odd question for you. How are you doing? Are you satisfied completely with your relationships in life and your financial situation? Now, I don't know if anyone is 100% satisfied with both of those things, but the reason I'm asking this week is because these are subjects that are deeply fascinating to me, things that I'm passionate about, both improving in my own life as well as helping other people improve in their own lives. And it's not something, again, that I think anyone has mastered 100%, where no one has any other problems with finances or relationships. But these are things that affect almost everyone, and I think that that's why they make such a big difference to me. This week I'd like to tackle an idea, and that is there are different approaches to how we troubleshoot our finances and our relationships. And the two basic approaches are the bandage approach or the let's get down and figure out the root cause approach. Those are very different approaches. One is very much on, hey, I've already got a problem. How do I kind of gloss it over and just make myself feel better? And the other one, when it comes to the root cause, really the advantage is you can start to work on prevention. So avoiding problems like this in the future. Now those are very different situations, and I want to give you examples of both financial examples as well as relationship examples. But let me first tell you a quick story. I remember when I don't know how old I was maybe like 14, 15 years old, maybe a little bit younger. And my parents took us to Nanaimo out in Vancouver Island. And I remember digging in the sand. We love digging in the sand. And I was digging with my hands. We were trying to get horseshoe clams, if you know what those are. And as I've still got a scar on my finger here. As I was digging through the sand, a sand dollar was vertically, was kind of stuck vertically in the sand. And as my hand went by it, it cut very deeply, right through my skin as well as through my nail. And I don't remember exactly what my reaction was. I'm guessing that I had a bit of a reaction. So we went back to the hotel room where we were staying, and my dad got a Q-tip, and he bought a little bit of, I think he was rubbing alcohol. It might have been something else, but it was probably a rubbing alcohol. And he said, he took me to the sink of the hotel room, and he said, Mark, this is going to hurt, and I don't want to hurt you. But we've got to get that sand out. If we don't get the sand out, the sand has a bunch of bacteria and other stuff in it. If we don't get the sand out, you're going to have long-term problems. So this is going to hurt and it's going to be difficult. I'm here with you, but we need to fix this, because if we don't fix this now, you're going to have problems long-term, and maybe even far more serious problems than a cut with sand in it. So we did that. And again, I don't remember exactly. I remember it hurting. That's all I remember. And again, I still got just a faint scar on my middle finger here. But what I'm fascinated by in that story is that it made an impact on me in how I think about the future. And I really agree with that. If we fix the fundamental problem, then we end up solving future problems. It actually saves us crazy amounts of time and energy and effort later on. So I want to give you an example. What can you do specifically in your relationships that if you take care of now, I'll give you an example of bandages and then kind of the preventative approach, and then we'll talk about finances. So with relationships, the bandage approaches are doing whatever allows somebody to feel okay in the moment and it pacifies your own emotional distress in the moment. So if you deal with problems by buying somebody a gift, or you gloss things over, or you ignore the problem because you just want tomorrow to go okay, rather than getting into the mess again. That's kind of like a bandage approach, okay? You might feel a little bit better. If my dad would have placed a bandage over my finger, I would have felt better in the moment rather than experiencing the pain of that Q-tip going deep into the cut. But it wouldn't have solved the problem. The way you solve problems, and this is my opinion on this, based on my own experiences, a lot of reading, a lot of other people's experiences as a therapist, and when I think about it, really it comes down to communication. How are you communicating? If you work on one skill set, communication, and communication is big. There's body language, there's how you ask questions, how well you engage with people, how well you listen to people. Of course, there's a lot involved. But if you are willing to become a master communicator, it's not only going to help your relationships in your own family. It's going to help the relationships with your friends and your external family. It's going to help your business relationships. It's going to help real estate business deals. It's going to help it's going to help your finances. It's going to help in almost every area of life, because we're social creatures. And what my challenge to you is if you want to get better at relationships, focus on your communication. And don't I mean, there's everything online, right? That obviously is not helping a lot of people because it's very accessible and nobody's using it, or very few people are using it to change. Communication is going to be the key there. Now, on the other hand, we also talk about finances. So what's a bandage approach versus kind of a long-term preventative approach to finances? And what I'd suggest is that the bandage approach, again, is about feeling better in the moment. So if you change your investment, I invested stocks, and now I'm going to invest in real estate, and now I'm going to invest in this, and now I'm going to invest in that. I lost a little bit of money here, so I'm going to do something different. If you're consistently changing things, maybe that feels like you're moving in some direction. If you're listening to the experts out there, the financial experts that tell you to buy mutual funds, that is like, or just fill up your RSPs because it'll take care of you. Those things will not take care of you long term. They never have, they never will, fully, right? You actually lose a crazy amount in those strategies. But finances are something that is really scary for a lot of people because we don't really learn about money as we grow up. And I know that I had fantastic parents on so many levels. I know that I didn't have a fantastic financial education growing up, okay? And I'm not blaming anyone there. It's simply, I think a lot of people are in this situation. And I had my own mindset and problems and paradigms about money that I've had to work through in different ways. Here's my one suggestion. If you take care of one thing, it'll probably make a bigger difference for you and prevent a lot of problems later on in the future. And that is focus on your net worth. Make your focus your net worth. Not how, so there's a difference in my opinion between being rich and being wealthy. And these are just my definitions. Being rich is having a lot of money to spend. Being wealthy means that you don't have to worry about money anymore. Okay, here's the difference. If you're rich, maybe you've got a high paying job, or you're doing really well in business right now. But if you got cut off from that, what you'd end up being is in a place where you've got a lot of distress in life. So maybe it looks like you've got a lot of money, but you don't really. As soon as that tap turns off, you're in trouble. When you focus on your net worth, that's a completely different mindset because wealth is about net worth. Wealth is about having enough that even if you didn't do much or anything, it would take care of you. That's, in my definition, that is wealth. You are wealthy if you have enough net worth that takes care of you even if you're not working and you don't have to worry about money anymore. Okay? That doesn't mean that you're a trillionaire. It could mean that you really have a modest lifestyle, but it takes care of your needs in a really significant way. To me, that's wealth. And very few Canadians would fit into that category. I suggest, and the challenge to you for finances is focus on your net worth. If you focus on your net worth, rather than showing off what you have, if you instead build something that is long lasting. Now, you know me, if you know me, I'm a real estate guy. I love real estate. I think it does amazing things. And actually, I was thinking about this today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a bit of a series on comparing real estate to other investment classes. And I'm going to try to be really honest. No one is unbiased, but I'm going to try to be really honest about why certain asset classes are attractive to people and what I think are some of the advantages and disadvantages to real estate compared to those asset classes. I might do this with one of my friends. It's going to come out in the next couple of weeks here. But yeah, if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I know this video is a little bit longer than usual, but I'm going to just summarize it really quick. If you work on a bandage approach, you are going to feel better for a moment. But as my wife says, there's long-term gain and short-term pain, or there's long-term pain with short-term gain. That bandage approach, it feels maybe a little bit better in the moment. It doesn't solve your problems with relationships or in finances. It doesn't, in my opinion, matter as much how you feel right now as much as taking action so that you can take care of yourself for the future and take care of the people around you. The other approach is a preventative approach, and that requires you to do a little bit of deeper digging. It requires some pain sometimes and some sacrifice sometimes, but you will be far better situated for the future. I hope this is helpful on some level. Feel free to give me some comments and feedback. I'd love to talk about this further with people that are interested in taking this a little bit further. Enjoy your rest of your week here.